In a controversial move that has sparked widespread debate, U.S. border officials have begun targeting senior green card holders for increased scrutiny at ports of entry. This policy shift, which has been implemented quietly over the past few months, has raised concerns about the treatment of elderly immigrants and the broader implications for the U.S. immigration system. But what exactly does this targeting entail? Why are senior green card holders being singled out? And what does this mean for the future of immigration policy in the United States? Let us dive deep into the details, explore all sides of the story, and analyze the broader implications of this development. To understand the significance of this policy shift, it is important to first examine the context of green cards and their role in the U.S. immigration system. A green card, officially known as a permanent resident card, grants an individual the right to live and work permanently in the United States. Green card holders, also known as lawful permanent residents, enjoy many of the same rights and privileges as U.S. citizens, with the exception of voting in federal elections and holding certain public offices. Green cards are typically issued to individuals who meet specific criteria such as family reunification, employment-based immigration, or refugee and asylum status. Once granted, a green card is usually valid for 10 years and can be renewed indefinitely provided the holder continues to meet the requirements for permanent residency. For many immigrants, obtaining a green card is a lifelong dream and a critical step toward achieving the American dream. It provides a sense of security and stability, allowing individuals to build a life in the United States, pursue career opportunities, and contribute to their communities. However, the recent targeting of senior green card holders by U.S. border officials has cast a shadow over this sense of security. The new policy, which has been implemented by U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP), involves increased scrutiny of senior green card holders at ports of entry. This includes more frequent and thorough questioning, additional documentation checks, and in some cases, secondary inspections. The policy appears to be targeting green card holders aged 65 and older, with a particular focus on those who have been living outside the United States for extended periods. According to CBP officials, the increased scrutiny is aimed at identifying individuals who may have abandoned their permanent resident status. Under U.S. immigration law, green card holders who spend too much time outside the country risk losing their permanent resident status. This is because permanent residency is intended for individuals who intend to live in the United States permanently. If a green card holder is found to have abandoned their residency, they may be deemed inadmissible and could face deportation. However, critics argue that the policy is overly harsh and discriminatory, particularly given the vulnerabilities of senior immigrants. Many elderly green card holders spend extended periods outside the United States to care for aging relatives, receive medical treatment, or simply enjoy their retirement. The increased scrutiny has left many feeling targeted and unwelcome in a country they have called home for decades. The increased scrutiny of senior green card holders has had a profound impact on this vulnerable population. Many elderly immigrants have reported feeling anxious and uncertain about their status, particularly those who have been living outside the United States for extended periods. The fear of losing their permanent resident status has forced some to make difficult decisions, such as cutting short visits to family members or forgoing necessary medical treatment abroad. In addition to the emotional toll, the policy has also created practical challenges for senior green card holders. The additional documentation checks and questioning have made the process of re-entering the United States more time-consuming and stressful. For elderly individuals with limited mobility or health issues, this can be particularly burdensome. The policy has also raised concerns about the potential for abuse and discrimination. Critics argue that the increased scrutiny is being applied inconsistently and that some border officials may be using the policy as a pretext to target individuals based on their age, nationality, or ethnicity. This has led to calls for greater transparency and accountability in the implementation of the policy. The targeting of senior green card holders by U.S. border officials has broader implications for the U.S. immigration system. It reflects a growing trend towards stricter enforcement of immigration laws and a focus on deterring what some officials describe as abuses of the system. However, critics argue that this approach is misguided and that it risks undermining the principles of fairness and compassion that have long been central to U.S. immigration policy. One of the key concerns is the impact of the policy on family reunification. Many senior green card holders are parents or grandparents of U.S. citizens or permanent residents. The increased scrutiny and potential loss of permanent resident status could make it more difficult for families to stay together, particularly in cases where elderly relatives need to travel abroad for care or other reasons. The policy also raises questions about the treatment of elderly immigrants more broadly. As the U.S. population ages, the number of elderly immigrants is expected to grow. Policies that target this population risk creating a climate of fear and uncertainty, which could deter individuals from seeking the care and support they need. Finally, the policy has implications for the perception of the United States as a welcoming and inclusive society. The targeting of senior green card holders has been widely criticized as harsh and discriminatory, and it risks damaging the country's reputation as a land of opportunity for immigrants from all walks of life. While the increased scrutiny of senior green card holders has sparked widespread criticism, it is important to consider all sides of the story before drawing conclusions. On the one hand, the policy reflects a legitimate concern about the enforcement of immigration laws and the need to ensure that permanent residency is granted to individuals who intend to live in the United States permanently. The U.S. immigration system is designed to balance the needs of immigrants with the interests of the country, and this includes ensuring that green card holders do not abuse their status. On the other hand, the policy has been criticized for its lack of compassion and its potential to cause harm to vulnerable individuals. Senior green card holders are among the most vulnerable members of the immigrant population, and they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. The increased scrutiny and potential loss of permanent resident status could have serious consequences for their health, well-being, and ability to stay connected with their families. It is also worth noting that the policy has been implemented with little transparency or public input. This has led to concerns about the potential for abuse and discrimination, as well as calls for greater accountability and oversight in the enforcement of immigration laws. As we reflect on the targeting of senior green card holders by U.S. border officials, several questions come to mind. What do you think about the increased scrutiny of elderly immigrants? Do you believe it is a necessary measure to enforce immigration laws, or is it an overly harsh and discriminatory policy? How can the U.S. immigration system balance the need for enforcement with the principles of fairness and compassion? We would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Please leave a comment below and share your perspective. Do you believe that the policy will have a chilling effect on immigration to the United States? How do you think it will impact the lives of senior green card holders and their families? Let us know what you think. If you found this analysis insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us continue creating in-depth content on current issues and news from around the globe. Do not forget to subscribe to Breaking Bulletin for more thought-provoking discussions and documentaries. We also encourage you to leave a comment with your thoughts on this topic. Do you believe that the targeting of senior green card holders is justified? How do you think the U.S. immigration system can better balance enforcement with compassion? Your feedback is invaluable to us, and we look forward to reading your comments. The targeting of senior green card holders by U.S. border officials is a controversial policy that has sparked widespread debate and concern. While it reflects a legitimate concern about the enforcement of immigration laws, it also raises important questions about the treatment of elderly immigrants and the principles of fairness and compassion that have long been central to U.S. immigration policy. As the United States continues to grapple with the challenges of immigration reform, it is essential that policies are implemented in a way that respects the dignity and rights of all individuals, regardless of their age or background. The targeting of senior green card holders is a reminder of the need for a balanced and compassionate approach to immigration enforcement, one that upholds the values of fairness, inclusion, and respect for human dignity. Thank you for watching Breaking Bulletin. Stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged. Until next time, take care.